What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Blam back in the building with another video. First and foremost, I want to say big thanks and shout out to everybody for watching the previous videos. Like I told you guys before, I have been making more singular videos to go up on the channel as of recently. So thank you guys for all the support. The last video link will be down in the description. Go ahead and check that out. I made a quick video about my thoughts about the upcoming Battlefield. So go ahead and check that out, man. And another quick announcement as well. Obviously, this week is Super Bowl Sunday. I announced that we were going to have the Shot Podcast this week in error. So I put out a tweet a few days ago about postponing the show till next Sunday. Once again, this weekend is Super Bowl Sunday, so we're going to have to push that till next weekend, next Sunday. But we'll see you guys there, and I got a great video to talk about today, man. It's something that I've been holding on to for a while. It is a dev, for one, that I have applauded and talked about and spoke up for years now, as well as a game that's intrigued me more and more every time I see it. And as you guys can see, we're talking about Obsidian, we're talking about dev, and just to we're talking about the dev Obsidian, we're talking about the game Avowed. And just to give a quick brief overview, if you're not familiar with Obsidian and or Avowed, says Avowed is an upcoming 2025 action action role-playing game developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Xbox Game Studios. Avowed takes place in the same universe as Pillars of Eternity, the world of Eora. The game is scheduled to be released on February 18, 2025 for Windows and Xbox Series S and X, as well as on Game Pass. So just a quick brief overview. If you're not familiar, there's 1,000 videos on YouTube. Go check them out. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this game because I am so excited about this game. And as you guys if you've been following me here, I'm fairly new to RPGs. I am what you call a RPG noob. I just got into Diablo, which I am now neck deep into the last probably 2 years or so. Shout out to Pong, shout out to 3-Bit, shout out to Mav. They kind of helped me get into Diablo. Now I can't get out of it. Same thing with games like Starfield. I was never really a big Skyrim player, never really got into that. So I never was really a big RPG guy. Shout out to Game Pass. That has changed, I say, the last 3 or 4 years. Now I want to play just about every RPG that comes out, at least give it a try. And Avowed is one of the ones that has been on my list from day one. It's always been something about it. It's always looked different from the first time we saw it. It looked intriguing. And on top of that, I've been a huge fanboy. Obsidian, if you're not familiar with them, they make Grounded. They make Fallout New Vegas 2 as well. One of the ones that is near and dear to a lot of Fallout fans' hearts that they do want to return. One of the more well-received Fallout games that they're responsible for as well. So a phenomenal dev. They also make the Outer World series as well, which they are doing Outer World 2. Once again, I called them a top 3 dev at Xbox. I've been saying it since the acquisition. I've compared them to Insomniac. I know some people may not like that comparison. They are their own studio, but as far as quality and output, they can make 3 or 4 games. They'll have 3 or 4 IPs on Xbox within the limited amount of time that they've been a part of the Xbox brand. New IPs as well. So it's insane the amount of quality that they've been able to put out, as well as the quantity of games that they're able to put out. And this is none of the exceptions. So Avowed is a game that, like I said, every time we see it, it looks prettier and prettier. I'm super excited for the world. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with the Pillars of Eternity world, but it sounds interesting. There's a lot of lore there, and I believe Obsidian also put out a new video with even more lore. So I've been tuning into the little dev things that they show. I've watched tons of gameplay on YouTube. There's a lot of people that have already gotten a chance to play this. They've got flown out. They've sent influencers the game when they've played it. I know a few that are currently playing it as well. Shout out to you guys. But man, I cannot wait to get into this universe and play. A few things about the game that sticks out. Obviously, graphics for me, it's a pretty game. I know UE5 hasn't been the easiest engine to work with, but boy, is that thing beautiful, man. When it works, it is beautiful, and it is a very pretty game. I think they've upgraded to 2 or 3 different versions of UE5 throughout this process a couple times. So, and it's looked better every time. Combat looked more fluid. We finally got the announcement that officially PC and Xbox Series X, there will be a 60 frames version. So I think it's locked at 60, which is amazing to hear. I think on the Series S you have options. I think you can do up to 40 or 50, which is still great for me. That means the combat's going to be fluid. It's going to feel great. I wasn't worried about the 30 anyway because I thought Starfield felt phenomenal at 30 frames. Although I know on PC you can run it at whatever your PC can run it at, I thought it felt great. It was probably the smoothest 30 frame game I've ever felt. It was that good. And so I was not worried about it. And hearing that there are alternate options, 40 and 50 frames, is super, super cool. That means they really optimize this game for this system. They're really getting everything out of it. And I love to hear that. And in the combat, it looks like there's a lot of varied combat. I'm a big guy on combat. If your combat, you have a game like an RPG and a combat is a highlight, that's always a huge plus. If the combat is an issue, that always takes so much away from games like RPGs, especially that genre. So the combat looks phenomenal. It looks like a really cool mix. And it looks fast and fluid. When I first saw it, I didn't think it looked as fast, but it absolutely looks fast and fluid. It seems like there's a ton of different classes you can pick from, a handful at least. You can mix and match builds. I did see that, essentially meaning you could be like a mage, but also, run around with like dual daggers and a sword, or a mace, or vice versa. You can be a warrior and then have like a dagger and a wand, or have some other kind of supernatural abilities. Like, I love endless possibilities. Like I said, I'm a big Diablo guy now, and I love being able to mix and match and do different things and try and create things that other people haven't and just try different stuff. I think that's the beauty of games like RPGs. They give you that freedom and time to do that, because obviously, the world's so large, you're going to spend 70, 80, 90, 100 plus hours in these worlds. So you got time to go in and actually, play around and, mix things up. So that's really cool too. Another thing I'm really excited about too is the lore. Like I said, I've never really been into PoE, but I've had friends that are into that series. Shout out to Pong, and they talk about it nonstop. And it's something that is highlighted. It's something that Obsidian does extremely well. World building, character building, things like that. I've heard great things about that. So I'm really, really, really ready to dive into it. I just wanted to make a quick short video about Avowed. Also, I think the game is going to be, I honestly think it's going to get some Game of the Year recognition. I wholeheartedly believe that the game is going to overshoot a lot of people's expectations. I know there was some narratives going around about the game, the identity politics stuff, which I do not talk about because it's not relevant, in my opinion, to gaming. But outside of that, I think good-ass games do what they're supposed to do. And I think this game is going to get the recognition that it actually deserves. It's extremely polished. It's from a recognized, well-renowned studio and a developer that we know what we're going to get. We're going to get quality. We're going to get a great world. We're going to get great stories, interactions. Basically a fully cooked product here. And it already looks amazing. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about Avowed. What are you guys' expectations? Are you getting it day one? Obviously, it's going to be in Game Pass. So, I'm at least going to play it. But I do plan on putting a significant amount of time in this game. I've picked up and put down RPGs, but I really feel like this is the one I'm going to try and hold on to for a while. But let me know what you guys think. Peace out, everybody.